Hello. Well, as you can see, I didn't make it up to the wood again this week, which is a bit annoying, but I've actually decided to come out today to have a look round this area. This is the back of St Pancras and King's Cross Station, which has all been recently redeveloped, so I wanted to see what was going on. I haven't been up here for a while, so I wanted to check it out. But it's not for that I've come to have a look at, it's to come and visit here. This is St Pancras Old Church, which is allegedly one of the oldest churches in London, if not the oldest. And I think it was a site of worship way before then. It's certainly credited as being the oldest Christian place of worship. The church itself is predominantly Norman, but it's been redeveloped, and I think the latest redevelopment was done by the Victorians, but it's still got a really old look to it. I was going to go in, but it's actually Sunday and I think there's services and things going on, but it is a beautiful church in this beautiful graveyard just behind King's Cross. Yeah, the railway line runs directly next to the church, and I suppose you could probably hear the trains now. This is the area where the River Fleet used to run beside the church. The River Fleet that starts up in Hampstead Heath around where the ponds are. And it's now one of many of London's subterranean rivers. The Victorians sort of built over it and turned it into a sewer, I think. It actually comes out at Blackfriars Bridge and goes under Fleet Street, of course. Got some lovely old gnarly trees in this graveyard. Incredible. Don't know how old that is, but very twisty branches. I'm not sure what that is. Hard to tell. So yeah, the Hardy tree, as in Thomas Hardy. It's amazing. So before he was famous as a writer, he worked for the Midland Railway, which is what was behind us, and he had to exhume the bodies and put all the gravestones around this tree. I think this Soames monument also has something to do with telephone boxes. It was the inspiration for the red telephone boxes. I'm not sure, I'll have to look that up. As you come up the steps from the gate, you're presented with this monument, which is quite amazing, but it's when you go and look at the detail on it, some really nice detail. Definitely a place for the crocuses. Yeah, the low winter sun is making it quite hard to catch all this. Yeah, it's lovely. At the top there, you've got a really nice sundial. So I think this was a monument for all the graves that were dug up, and all the names are put on the side of all the people that are underneath this. Yeah, I think all the ceremonies are over, so give me a quick chance to nip in. So this is a very unassuming monument. This is to Mary Wollstonecraft, or Mary Wollstonecraft Godwin. And of course she was the author of The Vindication of the Rights of Women, who died in childbirth, and the daughter was Mary Shelley, who later went on to write Frankenstein. So people sometimes say she was the beginning of feminism. And her husband, William Godwin, was a very famous theorist as well. Some say he was the first anarchist. Yeah, so this is King's Cross these days. It's weird, this used to be such a squatters area. If you watch Mike Leigh's film High Hopes, it's all set round Battlebridge Road where all the squats used to be. And all the warehouse parties used to be. So this is actually what I came to see, which is Camley Street Nature Reserve. But it's closed. Oops. It's a very small green space in London, and it runs right next to the canal, but they've closed it for redevelopment. Posh rat. My trusty thermal top that always sits in the back of my little bag. I forgot I had that with me today, so that was lucky. So I'm going to have a sit down and a coffee. Yeah, this far edge of the churchyard's really nice, and a good place to have a sit down, and quiet when there isn't a train going by. It is quite a sweet little part of London. So I'm annoyed with myself I didn't make it up to the wood, but in a way this is sort of quite nice, second best. Got a flask of coffee today, and been quite urban. Not carrying anything bushcrafty around with me, which is nice. Yeah, it's a really interesting churchyard. Oh, here we go. It's a really interesting churchyard because it has big connections with Charles Dickens, and Tale of Two Cities was sort of apparently set in this churchyard in certain scenes, and big connections with the French Revolution. A lot of the people escaping the revolution came here. It's really that whole era around 1790s. There we go. That's quite a quiet one. But yeah, really nice church. I think, the fact that the River Fleet runs under, or just by the side of it. In fact, I might even be sitting on it somewhere around here amongst these gravestones. It's funny when this isn't very far from where I live, it's not much of a journey to get here, and you forget all these things are quite local. There's lots of little gems in London like this. It's survived the redevelopment of the whole area. So if you're ever at King's Cross or St Pancras and you've got half an hour to kill, it's really worth coming down to this churchyard. It is really nice. It's literally 5 minutes from the station. Oh, you're very loud. That was sweet. Okay, so here's the bushcrafty bit. This is the Marauder rucksack that Mack did a really good review of on his channel and inspired me to get it. It's actually really well made. It's a really nice rucksack with pockets at the top, pockets, and then a really well made inside. I won't do a review as such because Mack has already done a really detailed one, but it is good. You can get an awful lot in it. So Mack's done some modifications on the outside for his axe, but you can actually get your axe in there. What else have I got in here? Oh, loads of stuff. A knife. Cook pot. Got my first aid kit at the bottom. Oops, and still a lot more room for other things in there. And then on the other side, I can't remember what I put in this one. And silky saw. I'll talk about that in a minute. Yeah, some other bits in there. And it's good. I like it. Really nice tip. Thank you, Mack. That was a good one. Let me get these out of the way. The reason I like it, it's a short back, you can see. Now I'm 5'9", but I'm trapped inside the body of somebody of 5'3", so short back is actually quite good for me. It's and the arm shoulder straps are just short enough. Could even take them down a tiny bit more, could even shorten them myself, that's not a problem, but it's quite good for my back for that reason. It's actually quite comfortable to wear with the waistband, and it's not an over the top waistband, it's not highly padded, but I actually find that better because padded ones tend to slip down on me for some reason. And all I've done is I put a couple of sewn some elastic straps in there just to keep this from flapping around because it drives me nuts. The other thing is the straps on the shoulder straps that you pull tight are really long. You could even tie them around yourself. So I've just tied those up with a bit of inner tube. I don't want to cut anything down as such, so yeah, but yeah, really nice rucksack. That's probably about as big as I would go for a rucksack, because once that's filled I wouldn't be able to carry anything heavier than that. So that's good. Really well made it is, and in nice olive green, and they were great. I ordered it, came within a couple of days. Made them an offer, they accepted the offer, so that was great. So good tip, Mack, that was great, thank you for that. The other thing, I think you'll notice in the pocket, is I ordered another silky, and this is the silky gumboy, which fits perfectly in these pockets. I do like silky saws, and I just wanted one that was a bit smaller. The reason I like this, it's still a two-hander. It's great. But weirdly, the box it came in. It wasn't what I was expecting. It's like that, and then it does that. But it's a much nicer box than the ones you normally get for it, because I think what you do is you hook that bit on the inside of your belt like that, and you can actually wear it on your belt quite comfortably. That's quite good. Yeah, it's interesting. So yeah, a couple of purchases. Being a bit naughty, but oh well, more stuff. So yeah, thank you for the tip.